Hi everyone, welcome to the session of MB-220, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Marketing Functional Consultant. So this is going to be our exam prep sessions. So in this one, we're going to discuss about that what are the topics which is important in this course called MB-220, relatively which we need to learn the things on our own as well as from the sessions and also from the different ways doing some R&D on your own just to go ahead and prepare for the exam of this MB-220 and to get this certification. So let's get started here. So in this video, we're going to discuss about those important topics. We're going to have a look what that specific topic is, how we are going to utilize them, when to utilize them, what to use it. And also we're going to have a look about some demonstrations here. Apart from it, we're going to discuss about some sort of a question and answers here at the end of the sessions, which will help us to understand what kind of questions will going to become in the examination itself. So that's all thing. So let's get started with this session now. Apart from this current oriented session of MB-220, if you guys wanted to register yourself for some other courses, exam prep sessions like PL200, AZ500, AZ700, SC200, SC300, and lots of other ones. So you can actually visit our website called gtechlearn.com/webinars.aspx, and you can actually go and register yourself for those kind of courses over there. All of those courses, exam prep sessions are going to be on a free of cost, so you do not have to pay anything. Other than that, you can also scan this QR code using your Google scanner just to go ahead and register yourself with the upcoming webinars of our website. And also you can do register yourself with the previous webinars. You can get the recordings of those webinars as well. So let's get started with this session now, and let's talk about our certification journey. Like if we wanted to achieve the certification of this MB-220 relatively for Dynamics 365 Marketing Functional Consultant. So what is our prerequisites? Which kind of trainings we need to attend? What hands-on experiences we need to have before going to the examinations, and what are the different self-study courses are available on the free note so that we can use them to learn the things and to achieve the things. So let's have some information about it. Talking about the prerequisite which is required to attain the training of this MB-220 and to achieve the certification of this. So the very first thing, we do need to have some understanding about Dynamics 365 fundamentals relatively for CRM area. So for the CRM itself, we need to have some basic understanding that how the applications are going to be deployed, how to access those applications, what is the environment over there, what kind of applications are already present that can be connected with the marketing apps, and how we can start navigating ourselves inside the applications and the other things. So we do need to have some basic understanding about the fundamentals area of the dynamics in relatively for CRM, as well as another prerequisite which is have to completed by us is relatively for have some basic understanding about the ERP concept and also the different applications which has been issued by the Microsoft under this Dynamics 365 fundamentals area for the ERP platform. So we do need to have some understandings about them. Then after, we do need to have some basic understanding about the Power Platform environment, that what is a Power Platform environment, what tools are going to become inside them, and which kind of tool is going to be utilized on what kind of situations and so on. Talking about to learn about this course called MB-220, so what are the areas we can actually go and have the details to be available, like the study guides as well as the instructor oriented training. So Microsoft is running some sort of programs, so they are providing some free courses on their own so that the users can go ahead and do some self study, and also they are providing some instructor led training as well. So if you wanted to go for the self-placed course where you wanted to learn it on your own, so you can actually visit Microsoft Learn website, and over to the Microsoft Learn website, you can find out the course of MB-220 and you can start learning for it. Same way, they are also providing the instructor-led training as well, relatively for not only for this course but also for additional courses as well. So whatever the course we wanted to achieve, we can actually go and learn it from there. So you can actually find out both the things on the Microsoft link here. Let me confirm how to go ahead and register your account over there. So if I'm saying that you guys wanted to access this free study guide of MB-220 to be discussed, so you can actually just write it down your name of the course, that is MB-220, and then you can open up the first website, which is relatively going to redirect you to the learn.microsoft.com. So I'm going to open that learn.microsoft.com portal, and here for MB-220, my all the free guides are going to be available. So what are the topics needs to be covered under that specific course, which topics are available, and relatively for each and every topics, what are the free material is available to learn about them and to work with them. Each and everything's are going to be present here. You just need to select the specific learning path, and inside the learning path there are going to be the different types of paths available for different kinds of topics, which is going to be covered under that course. You can start learning any of the topics from starting to end, and in this area you will also found some sort of areas relatively for checking your knowledge as well as some labs scenario. So they're going to give you some sort of steps, also the automated steps that needs to be completed for hands-on experiences. And also you can do visit your this check your knowledge session here to just understand that how much we have learned so far using this self-study course and so on. So this is something we are having on a self-paced basis. The second way of training Microsoft is providing, so they are providing the instructor-led paid training here. So you can actually come to the instructor-led training and you can click on the course name. So the instructor-led training will going to take you a training of 4 days, the official training, where you will get a Microsoft certified trainer, which who is going to teach you about that skill, who is going to train you, will going to help you to understand the technology, to start working with that technologies and so on. You can come here and you can click on this button called find a learning partner, and then you can select the respective learning partners depending upon your own country, that to from which partner do you actually wanted to learn. So here these two types of trainings are going to be available from the Microsoft end. After when you guys are going for the trainings of this MB-220, so which kind of hands-on experiences you guys are going to have after completing the training? So you guys will going to have the experience of configuring some marketing applications, that how to set up your marketing environment in your company, how the marketing applications needs to be installed, what is going to be the prerequisites for that, how the tables are going to be created, columns are going to be created, relationships are going to be created. So these things you will able to understand on here. Then apart from this, you will also get the understanding about managing the segments and the lists itself, where it's going to discuss you what is the segment, what is the list, and how to go ahead and create them. So these ones are going to be very useful whenever we wanted to create a customer journey, relatively for my upcoming new contacts, or maybe we are having some existing contacts and based on that we wanted to create something. So this you are going to have that kind of experience as well. Also you will get the experience of creating and managing some marketing forms and the marketing pages using this application called Dynamics 365 marketing apps. You will also get some understanding and some experience about managing the leads, contact, and accounts entity, working with this marketing applications itself in the real-time scenario. You can also go ahead and have some experience about creating and managing the marketing email messages. You can actually go there, create your own email templates. You can, using that templates, you can actually create your own marketing emails, how the specific thing will going to be sent it to the respective person who will going to attain the things from providing from us, whether it's going to be a training or we are actually selling some sort of products and so on, and relatively for which we are doing some marketings. So you can actually go and have that experience to create those things and to send to the respective persons, whoever you wanted to try actually send those things. You will also get some experience about creating the customer journey from starting to end. In that journey, we can actually decide from where the things needs to be started and what we need to do at the end of this customer journey, and how the customer journey will going to be completed, and what is going to be my repeatable time itself. Then after talking about, we will also get some better understanding about creating some events and the webinars using this marketing apps itself. So you will have to get all those things on a same page. You do not have to create the multiple applications for them. You do not have to create some multiple areas to work with these kind of scenarios. So the same application will going to help you in all the ways itself. Talking about what are the self-study resources are available. So you can get some Microsoft Docs here. Using the Microsoft Learn website, you will be able to find out the docs relatively for each and every concepts, and as well as the topics which is covering under that course itself. Also, you will get some Microsoft official practice test document where you will find out what kind of questions are going to become, and also some sample questions initiated by the Microsoft itself. You will also get some hands-on labs area. So the labs things can be actually find out using the GitHub area. So you can find out the MB-220 on the GitHub link, and over there the instructions are going to be written. You can utilize those instructions as, and based on that instructions you can actually complete the labs and have some understanding about the real-time working, that how the things needs to be worked in the real-time section. So once we have completed the training and we got those experiences on our hand, then after we can actually go to the exam itself, that is our MB-220. And after completing the examinations, you will get certified under this category called Dynamics 365 Marketing Functional Consultant, and you will get this certification on your own relatively for MB-220. So this is going to be our customer journey, that from where we need to start and how it's going to be ended. So first of all, we need to learn about the fundamentals of CRM, ERP, and Power Platform. Then we need to use the training modules of the Microsoft, whether it's my Microsoft Learn, we wanted to learn each and everything on our own, or maybe I can attend some instructor led training over there. After getting that training, after having those hands-on experiences, we can go for the exam, and after clearing the exam we can actually get that certification here. Moving forward to that, if we'll talk about that inside this MB-220 exam, what is going to be my objective domains, that under what domains we need to prepare ourselves to get certified. So the very first domain which is going to be have in here is configuring the marketing application. So the marketing application area will going to help you to pass out all your examinations, and also from that domain you can expect up to 20% of questions in your examination itself. Then after talking about another domain, so we're going to have managing the segments and the list. So from that area, talking about segments and list, you can get up to 15% of questions in the examinations. Then after the third domain we are having, talking about creating and managing the marketing forms and pages. So relatively from that domain, you can get up to 10% of questions in the examination. After that, we are having another domain here talking about managing the leads, contacts, and accounts. So from that domain, you can expect up to 10% of questions in the examination itself. Then after talking about creating and managing the marketing email messages. So from that section, you can expect up to 15% of questions on your exam. Then after another domain we are having in line is managing the customer journey. So from that domain, you can actually expect up to 25% of questions in your examination area. Then after talking about managing the events and webinar, so from that domain, you can expect up to 15% of questions itself. Also from another domain called configuring Dynamics 365 customer voice, which is going to be applicable for working with the survey feedback related things. So from that domain, you can expect up to 10% of questions inside your examination. So these are going to be our different domains, and we need to make sure that how much of questions needs to be come from which of the domain, and accordingly we need to prepare ourselves. Now, if I'll move ahead and talk about the exam pattern. So how the exam will going to become, and also what is going to be my time and how much we need to get the score for passing out that exam. So overall, the Microsoft will going to give you a 150 minutes in your certification time. Out of those 150 minutes, the 30 minutes will going to provide you to set up your environment, to complete the feedback survey of the Microsoft, also to answer some sort of basic questions about yourself, about your experience, your technology knowledge, and your proficiency things, and so on. So before starting the exam, Microsoft will going to ask you some few questions, whether it could be 5 questions, it could be 10 questions, depending upon them, and you need to answer them. After onwards, you can actually proceed for the examination. So for setting all those things from starting to end, they will going to give you a 30 minute of extra time. Apart from that 30 minutes of time, the rest of the 120 minutes will going to provide you only for the examination. And inside that exam, you will found approximately 40 to 60 questions in your exam. It could be your only 40 questions that need to be answered. It could be 60 questions that need to be answered. It could be 45 questions. It could be 52 questions. It depends. Every time the number of the questions will going to be changed, but the minimum quantity of the question will going to be 40 and the maximum is going to be 60. Talking about what kind of questions will going to become in the exam. So in the examination, the first category of question is going to be the case study type question, where the Microsoft will going to provide you some case studies. You need to read out the case study, you need to understand the case study, and based on that case study, they will going to ask you some sort of few questions, and the number of questions may be differ, like 4 to 5, or maybe sometime 6, or maybe sometime 3. So probably we can expect that in a single case study, you can get 4 to 6 questions to be likely to be asked by the Microsoft. So you need to answer those questions based on the case study you have read. And how many case studies are going to be present in the examination? So you will get 1 to 2 case study in the exam. And for each and every case study, the number of questions will going to be 4 to 6. This is going to be the first type of questions which we can expect in the exam. The second type of question can be about some situations and the solutions. So what Microsoft will do, Microsoft will going to provide you a question. In a question, they're going to define you a situation, what is happening in your environment. And based on that situation, they are going to provide you the solution. So in the solutions, they are going to write it down some solutions here, and you need to just read out the solution, and then they're going to ask you whether this solution will meet the criteria to resolve this situation or not. And accordingly, you need to select true or false. So these types of questions will also going to become in the exam, and those questions will going to have approx a quantity of 8 to 10. So you will get approx 8 to 10 question, in which they're going to provide you 2 or 3 different situations, and for each and every situation they're going to provide you 2 or 3 different solutions for it. You need to select which solution is correct and which solution is not correct. The main thing which need to be remember in this category of question is that every time you are answering one of the question from this category, you can't go back to change your answer. So every time whenever we are reading the question, we need to read it carefully. Same way we need to read the answers carefully, and accordingly we need to select the answers carefully on our own, that which solution is going to be the correct one. Because if we have selected the first option as false, or maybe as true, and then we have selected the next button, and again the same situation will going to be present and the different solution will going to be present over there. And after reading that solution, we will realize that this solution will going to be the more perfect in terms of the previous one which we have selected. So you can't go back and change your answer. So in this category, the answers will going to be logged every time you will select a question. So please be careful while completing this category of questions. The third category of questions will going to be on a multiple choice. So in a multiple choice of questions, we're going to have a different types of questions can be present. The very first is we can have the questions where we need to select a single answer that is the correct one, or maybe it's not correct depending upon my question. So they're going to provide ask you a question. Accordingly, they're going to give you some sort of answers here, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 answers, and out of them you need to select which is the correct one. Apart from the multiple choices, they'll also going to ask you some sort of question based on the matching scenario. In the matching scenario, the kind of a question can be present where on a left side they will going to provide you the situation, on the right side they will going to provide you the solution. So you need to select which solution will meet which situation. Same way, sometimes in the matching questions they're going to provide you the tools name as well as their working. Same way, they're going to ask you some sort of additional things in the matching scenarios. So you need to select which answer is going to be matched with which option. So this kind of question will come. Other than this matching scenario or this matching question, you will also find out the question relatively for the steps. Like if I'm saying that in the marketing application, we have an option to create a customer journey. So what Microsoft will do, Microsoft will going to ask you about the customer journey in his question. Then in the answer, they will going to provide you the options that the first step is to create a static segment. The second step is to navigate ourselves to the outbound marketing area. Then the third step is to go to the journey customer journey table, and then you need to select the new button to create it, and then you need to select the specific segment first, then you need to select the email template which needs to be sent, and so on. So accordingly, whatever steps we are following to achieve that goal, they will going to provide you those steps but in a different order. So you need to arrange it in a correct order, that which step we need to cover first, which step needs to cover second, and accordingly you need to arrange all of them. Sometimes Microsoft will do something like they will going to miss out some sort of a steps also, and after missing those steps, whatever the steps are going to be present, they're going to provide you that answer only. So you need to arrange it from them. So every time whenever we are doing something, whenever we are following or creating something in the apps inside the applications and so on, so we need to remember what steps we are following, because in the questions that kind of things can be asked. So these are some types of questions that can be expected in the examination itself. Now the next thing if we'll discuss about, so the examination will going to hold for 1000 numbers, and for passing from those 1000 number you need to score approximately actually more than 700. Either it could be your score of 700 or either it could be your more than 700. If you are getting that much of a score, that means you are passed in this exam. If you are getting the score below than 700, then you will going to consider as a fail for that examination. So let's suppose that we completed the exam and we got 699 score only. So that means we are going to fail that examination. So always be prepared that you need to score more than 700 in the exam for getting the certification. The next thing is that always answer each and every question, whatever has been asked by the Microsoft in the examination. Do not leave any of the questions to be unanswered. You can also go for review section. You can click on the review later area and you can review the specific questions also after completing all the examinations to check whether I have answered all of them or not. And then you can continue. Moving forward to that, let's start the session now on an official note. So before starting the session, let's just have some quick introduction from my side. So my name is Shivam Shukla. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, currently working with the GTechLearn Private Limited as a solution architect. Overall, I have 10 plus years of experience in the IT industry. Initially, I have started my career as a business analyst working with the Microsoft Excel technologies in one of the Indian-based company here. Slowly and gradually, I upgraded myself and learned the different technologies of the Microsoft here. And also I have certified with the Microsoft training program from last 5 years. So I'm holding the MCT certification from last 5+ years here. Talking about my primary domain. So my primary domain is going to be the security domain because I have also certified in the certified ethical hacking from the EC Council itself. So my primary domain is a security, and my secondary domain, the area of interest is going to be my Azure infrastructure. And also I'm providing the trainings relatively for Dynamics area, relatively for CRM, Power Platforms, and the other ones. So if I'll talk about my timings, so 60% of my time goes for the training industry, where I'm providing the trainings to the IT officials from USA as well as from UK itself. And other than the 60%, the 40% of the time goes for my solution architect area, where I'm providing the consulting to the existing customers we are having in the GTechLearn, as well as towards some upcoming new projects coming from GTech, as well as some third-party sources. So this is some sort of basic introduction from my side in here in terms of who am I and which technologies currently I'm providing the training and I'm holding the certification. Talking about my certification, so I have 15 plus certification in from the Microsoft itself, in which I have certified in a security domain, where I am holding the certification for SC100, SC200, SC300, SC400, SC900. Apart from it, I have the I'm holding the certification for MS500, MS100, MS101. So I'm having 8+ certification in the security area. Same way for the infrastructure area, I'm holding the certificate of 4+ certification, where I'm having the certification for AZ104, AZ120, AZ305, AZ220. Apart from it, I'm also certified in the Dynamics area, relatively for MB-230, MB-240, MB-220, MB-210, and so on. Talking about the ERP side, so I'm certified in MB-300 as well. Also from the Power Platform area, I have certified in PL200, PL100, PL400, PL900, and the other certifications. So these are some information about my certifications, which I'm holding right away. Now let's get started with this session on an official note and talk about some basic topics which needs to be covered by us before going towards the examination. So whenever we are talking about the marketing app, so before starting with the marketing app, we always need to understand about the marketing settings. So in the marketing settings, we're going to have a different categories of completing the settings, where we will have the overview area, we will have the email marketing setting, we will have the customer engagement settings, we can have the event management settings, we can have the lead management settings, we can have the data management settings, and we can have some other settings in here. If you guys wanted to read out about those kind of topics and what kind of settings will going to become under these categories in here, so I can show you the same thing on my own. So if I'm coming to the Microsoft 365 marketing app, and if I'm going to the settings area from here, so in the overview sections under the settings, you will find out all types of category which is available here. So from the overview section, we can change the version of my app. We can check about our quota limits, whatever I'm having. We can also set the quota limits itself. We can see the users limit. We can set the rule about the users limit, that which of my user can use what kind of things of on a how much of note. So we can do so those settings itself. We can also go and purchase some add-ons itself if we need it. We can also go for creating some sort of feature settings itself, feature switches, that whatever the upcoming features has been launched by the Microsoft, if I wanted to opt them before getting in the market, so I can go ahead and opt it from there. From the email marketing area, we can actually go and set up some domains related scenario, like which kind of domain I'm going to utilize for the emails which I'm sending, or for the email ID which I'm using, and the company website I'm creating, and so on. We can also go for creating some sort of landing page where I can define what is going to be my landing page, what is going to be my home page, and so on. Then after, we can also go for creating some sort of feature protection program. We can also make some default settings about the email, that how the email will going to be sent, what is going to be the DNS, what is going to be the domain by which is going to be sent, which email ID needs to be used in a from sections, and so on. From the customer engagement group, we can actually make the settings for my compliance related scenarios. We can actually make the settings for audience configurations. We can also make a settings for the SMS providers, that what kind of SMS provider I wanted to use for some messages to be sent to the customers itself. For the marketing, which kind of channels am I going to use, whether it's going to be the email channel, it's going to be the SMS channel, it's going to be the phone channel, and so on. We can also go and change some settings for the push notification. Let's suppose I'm having some sort of custom application for my company itself, and I wanted to send some push notification whenever I'm installing a new product on my environment, or maybe I'm providing a new training, or we have some upcoming webinars. So I wanted to send their notifications on a push notification basis to those users who has installed my app, and so on. So we can also go ahead and do the same thing. We can also go and change the settings for the SMS keywords, that what kind of keywords that can be triggered for sending a kind of a template messages to the customers. We can also go and make the settings for Azure SMS preview settings. We can also change the settings for band profiles, for social media accounts. In the collaboration area, we can go and make the settings for the team chat. So the marketing app will providing us the feature, and we can say the specific authorization to connect my Microsoft team directly in my Dynamics, and to communicate with the customers from the Microsoft team application. So we can opt for the team call planning, and from the teams itself, we can make the call to the customer's mobile number, whatever they are having. From next category called event management, you can actually go and change the settings for your web applications that are going to be utilized, the webinars provider, the webinars configurations, event administrator, also the website table configurations, and so on. From the lead management settings, you can actually go and create your own lead scores. You can actually edit your current lead scores itself. You can go and create some form matching areas. You can also go for creating some lead matching strategies, LinkedIn field mapping for each and every customers which I'm having right away. You can also go and create some data management settings where you can actually define where my data needs to be stored, how the customer insights are going to be generated, how the analytics we need to configure, how the reports is going to be managed, and so on. So these are some basic settings we can actually do inside the marketing application itself. And for doing those kind of settings, the different areas we need to visit, and we can actually make those settings change happen. Talking about the next thing, so in the marketing application, within the app, Microsoft is providing us the feature and the capability to create some marketing form itself. So whenever we wanted to create a marketing form, whether it is for my landing page where my customers are coming and I want them to fill up some form, whether it's relative to the inquiry, or maybe the contact us form, or maybe some sort of things like that, maybe relatively for my subscription center where they are going to subscribe my services, so at that time which form they need to fill, and so on. Also, if they are going to refer my services to a friend, so what kind of form is going to be filled up for them. So these kind of forms we can actually go and create easily from inside my marketing application. We do not have to visit anywhere else. Also, there are going to be some form requirements and limitations available, so you can go and check up your quotas. By default, the quota is going to be available for updating a contacts up to 500 or 2000 on a demo note, but you can actually increase your quota limits itself. We can also change the quota limits for how many mails we are going to send to the customer on a daily note, or maybe in a weekly note, or maybe in a monthly note. So we can opt for the plans, and accordingly the things can be worked. We can also go and change some sort of elements and inside the form itself, that which element I wanted to add, what kind of option I need to provide to them, and all the other things. Talking about the marketing pages, so we can also go for creating some different types of marketing pages here. And what kind of pages we can create? So we can either go for creating a landing page, we can create a subscription center page, we can create a forward to a friend page. So these three types of marketing page we can actually go and create in my marketing applications. So these all the things can be created from the marketing app itself. We do not have to navigate ourselves to the outside of app itself. Talking about managing the accounts and contacts. So before talking about the accounts and contact, let's talk about how to create those pages from my marketing app, and how to create the forms from my marketing app, and how to embed the form in a page from the marketing app. So let's get started with this demo itself. So I'm going to open my marketing application here. Inside my marketing application, let's suppose that I do wanted to go for creating some sort of marketing form itself. So how can we actually go for creating the marketing form? So we always need to remember the steps which we are going to follow. So I'm going to change my area first of all to the outbound marketing. So we are going to have two types of marketing here. The very first is real-time marketing. The second one is outbound marketing. So in both the areas, there are going to be some options which is our certain types of the equal way, but we are mostly going to work towards the outbound marketing right away in this session. So I'm coming to the outbound marketing area, and from outbound marketing area, let's say I'm creating a marketing form for my landing page. So for doing so, I just need to come to this specific area here, talking about internet marketing. So this one's is going to known as the area, and whatever is written in this black ones will going to known as the group. So we're going to come under a group called internet marketing, and from that internet marketing we need to select the marketing forms here. So I'm going to select the marketing form now, and let's say that I do wanted to create a new marketing form. So I'm going to create it using this plus new button, and here I need to specify a kind of a template which I do wanted to create. So I'm selecting one of the template here. Let's say this one. I do wanted to create this kind of form here. So I'm going to select it. You can also create your own templates itself whenever you want. So here my designer page is going to be open. In the designer page, it is going to show me which kind of questions are currently present in this template and what other things do I wanted to create. So I would say that I do wanted to create some additional information here. I'm going to select my first name is going to be present, my last name is going to be present, and my email ID is going to be present. I'm saying that I do wanted to change the form type first of all. So let me just do one thing. I'm going to select here the draft portion, and from here I can change the name of my form. So instead of this current name, I just wanted to make it as cross sell campaign form. So this is my form name. Do I wanted to add? Then I do wanted to change the form type. So I do wanted to use it on the landing page. So that's why I'm selecting the landing page right away. Then to which kind of table this specific form will going to be applicable. So I would say that this form, whatever the values are going to be coming from this form, I do wanted to create the contact based on those details, as well as I do wanted to create the leads in my environment. So I'm selecting that I wanted to update my contact and the lead from the current information which will going to come from this area. However, you can also go and select that if you wanted to create only lead, so you can set up only lead option. If you wanted to create a contact only, so you can set up only contact. This time I'm selecting both options. Once I have selected, let me just make a save change just to save my all the informations which I'm having. After saving it, we're going to make some content change as well. So here in this summary area, I'm coming to the content page, and from the content page, I'm changing one option here called pre-fill fields. So do I wanted to pre-fill the fields itself? If yes, I can actually go and hit on this yes button, and then I can come to this designer area. In this designer area, I'm saying I do wanted to remove this from heading. So I'm going to remove this from heading area by using this delete button. Then I just wanted to say that I wanted to use this remember me option, but I do wanted to change the font segment and font size. So I can make a change here. I would say my font size section is going to be the Arial, and I do want it to increase the size of that portion to 12 or maybe 20. So this is going to be my font size, which I wanted to use as a way for this platform. Then I'm saying that after that, I do wanted to create some additional fields in here. So I'm going to select my form. Then I'm going to select plus button to see which kind of block I wanted to add in here. I'm saying that I wanted to have a text block available. Where do I need to add the text block? I'm saying after email, I wanted to add one of the text block inside that area. Let me go and click on this area here. Let me delete it. I'm going to click on the plus button again. And here just after the email, I'm going to set up my area, and let me just specify some answer. If I wanted to provide some information, I can provide that information here. Let's say the form details need to be filled with the correct information. So whenever you wanted to define some sort of statement after having each and every form, you can insert this text option and you can specify the message. Right away, I do not want to use any kind of messages here, but I do wanted to add some fields. So for adding the field, I'm going to click on this plus button again, and here I need to select which fields I wanted to add. So I am saying I wanted to add the company name field. Where I wanted to add it. So let's suppose here the company name field has been added. I do wanted to add one another field in here called job title. Again, after the company name, I wanted to add the job title. So the job title has been added. And also I wanted to add one more column known as the industry. So I can go and click on the industry button and I can select where do we wanted to insert this column. So I'm saying I wanted to insert it in this area. So now my form is going to have 6 columns, in which out of which the 3 of them are previously created by the template, and we have created 3 of them on our own. Then after having the fields available, you can also go and change the property, like what is going to be the label of that specific area, what is going to be the placeholder, what is going to be the default value, also what is going to be the label position, whether it should be on top, it should be on right, it should be on left itself. So you can define those options as well. So right away, I'll say it should be on top in all the areas itself. Then after, I'll say from the email area, I do want it to go for a default value where I'm going to add it as someone@example.com, so that my users can understand which emails needs which type of data needs to be filled in this column. So I can also specify those things if you wanted to specify some values. Let's suppose I'm going to remove this value as of now. I do not want to use it, but we can actually do that. Same way, you can also define what is going to be the character width, that how long the characters can be installed. So I would say for the first name, my limit is going to be for the width is 12. Same way, what is going to be the maximum character that can be inserted, I can specify the thing. Same way for the last name, if I wanted to do the same thing, I can specify the things here. So that is how I can define. Now the next thing which I wanted to use it, let's suppose I wanted to change the font name as well as the size itself. So I can also do that. Let me go and select this first name here. I can change the form to Times New Roman, as well as I do wanted to change the size here. Size is going to be 24. Same way for other ones. Let me go for size 24. Let me go for email as well. Size 24. Company name as well. Size 24. And same way for the job title, size 24. And for the industry, size 24. So this is how can we actually go and change the font color, font size, font style, and so on inside my form page itself. So here my form is ready. If you do wanted to add some additional things, so you can add some additional things itself. Let's suppose I do wanted to color this form and I wanted to make it as a bold, or maybe in the center, or maybe in the right itself, or maybe in the left. So I can define those things as well inside the form. Once the form is completed, I can click on this preview button to have a look how this form is going to be look like whenever I'm going to embed it inside my page. So here it's going to show you the preview right away on the desktop. This kind of form will going to be look like. If you wanted to see it in the mobile or the tablets, so you can also go and change your view and you can have a look which kind of form is going to be appear in the customers area, that in this the different kind of devices they are using with. Once the form completed, I can click on the save and close button and my form is ready. Same way, not if I'm saying that you wanted to create some capture forms. Capture form means to capture some details while clicking on the form link and so on. So if you wanted to create some capture form itself, you can click on this capture form button and you can select what is going to be the URL. Like I'm having one of the form already placed in my website and I wanted to use that same form to capture some detail in my dynamics area. So I can utilize this capture form button. And here I just need to specify the URL of that website. From that website, it is going to synchronize which form is available on that website. And it's going to ask me that this form is available. These are the columns present. Please let me know which columns value needs to put in which of the columns value in the dynamics. So we need to map the settings. After mapping, the capture form can be work. So whenever a user will going to fill out some details in my website's form, the same value is going to be captured by the Dynamics marketing app, and accordingly the contacts and the leads can be created. So we do not have to add multiple forms, right? I'm having the existing form in my website, so I do not have to make a change. I can utilize the same one also. The next thing, if I'll talk about creating some marketing page, so I can click on this marketing page area for the creation. And from that area, I can click on the new button to create a new marketing page. And then I can select that specific template using which I need to create a page. So I'm going to select a specific page here. Let's suppose I wanted to use this product page 2 layout. I'm selecting this one and let me click on the select button. So here my landing page is created. I can go and make a change here if I want, or else I can make a same type of form can be published. But let me do make a some change. I'll say I'm creating it for my current company called GTechLearn. So I'm going to name it as a ZTech first of all. Then do I need to make any kind of other changes in any place? I would say what is my team's innovation. So I can specify those informations here. These are my products which I'm having. These are my articles. These are my users who are working with. So I would say my users which are working in my company is Shivam Shukla, who is marketing manager. Then the second one is Ayush Mishra. Then the third one is Dev Kumar. So here we can specify those in users detail. Let me just change the name of my company again. That is GTech. Here I can add my Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter accounts also. We just need to select the specific icon, and then we need to go for selecting the properties, and we need to select all text in here. We need to specify the URL where the users needs to relocate. So I can specify the link and I can save the details, and that's how my page can be created. Once it's created, let me click on the save button. Okay, so let me specify some partial URL for this page here. So for creating some sort of partial URL, I need to specify and go there. I need to specify the name of the page first. I'll say the page name is going to be cross-sell campaign page. And it is going to be a type of a landing page. And my partial URL is going to be GTechLearn cross-sell. This is going to be my partial URL. And after completing those informations, I can click on this save button to save my all the changes. Once we have saved the page, I can click on this preview button to have a look how my marketing page will going to be look like in the real-time section in my website. So here my page is present and I can see that this type of page is going to be look like. I can change the view to the tablet. Same way, I can change the view to the mobile as well, and we can see how the page will going to be look like. Apart from it, let's suppose I do wanted to insert some elements, like whatever the form I'm having, I just wanted to add the form here. So I can click on the form button and I can select where do I need to insert that form. I'm saying that I wanted to insert that form in this place. And here, let me go for adding the marketing form, which I just created. Okay. So let me go to the marketing form and let me select the marketing form name, which I have provided. So this is my marketing form name. And let me click on the go live. Because I haven't clicked the go live button, that's why the marketing form is not presented onto my marketing page area. Okay. Done. So let me click on the save and close button. So once we have the form available, we can come to the page, and from the page area, we can select the basic element from my right hand side pop-up window. And here I need to select the design element as form, and then we need to select the respective form which I wanted to add. So this is how we can actually go for creating some marketing page and the marketing form itself. The next area we are having in this page is for managing the customer's information. So in the dynamics, whenever you wanted to manage the customer's information, there are going to be the two different ways to manage it. Either I can create their details in the account section, either I can create their details in the contact entity. So there are going to be the two types of entity are going to be present. Which kind of contact needs to create in which entity? So whenever we are saying that we are having one of the organization as my customer, so the organization's detail needs to be created always inside the account entity. Whenever I'm saying that I'm having an individual customer who is dealing on his own, so their information needs to be stored in the contact area. So we always need to have a look that which kind of customers detail am I having and where I need to create their records. So let's have a look about the same thing, how to create their records. So for creating the account or the contact information, we need to come this customer group, and from the customer group, we can select the account entity to create the account detail as well as the contact entity to create the contact information. So I'm coming to the accounts right away, and here some basic accounts are already present. Let's suppose I do wanted to create another account now for one of the organization called contoso.org. So I'm going to select and define what is the name of my account. So it's going to be the Contoso. What is the phone number? I would say this is going to be the phone number here. What is the fax number? I can specify the fax number. We can specify the website also. I would say this company's website is this one. Do we have any of the parent account under this? If we are having, we can select the parent account also. The parent account concept will going to be applicable at that scenario once where we are having a big organization for which we are having a several child units as well. Let's suppose for the GTech itself. Inside the GTech, we are having 3 child units. One is who are dealing with the training scenario, the training industry. One who are dealing with the consulting industry. One who are dealing with the hosting industry. So under the GTechLearn Private Limited, we are having 3 subsidiaries. for one for training, one for consulting, and one for hosting. So whenever I need to create their accounts also, so I need to create the GTechLearn training account under the GTech itself. So at that time, I need to create the parent account as a GTech while creating the account information for GTech training itself. So in that scenario, the parent account will going to become. Right away, I do not want to add anything else. I just specified the name, phone number, as well as the website. Let me click on the save and close button. So that's how we can actually create a new account information in my Dynamics area. The next option we are having is talking about creating a contact entity. So we can also go and create some contact entity in here. So for creating a new contact, I need to click on this contact button. After clicking on this contact button, we need to click on this new button again. And then we need to specify what is going to be the contact first name. I would say the contact first name is going to be Dave. The second name is going to be the Kumar. Job title is CFO. And we can also associate a new contact as a part of my organization, as a part of my account. So let's suppose I have created the Contoso organization's account on my side. Now I wanted to define their point of contact person. So Dev Kumar is a point of contact person for the Contoso organization. And because I need to relate both of them, so in this account name area, we need to find out the same account which I have just created, and we need to select that specific contact in here. So in the company name, the same contact will going to be appear automatically. We need to specify the mail ID of that contact. I would say the mail ID is going to be dev.kumar@contoso.org. And same way we can specify the business phone number, mobile phone number, and the other details if we are having. So once I have defined the basic details, I can click on the save and close button to create a new contact on my organization. So that is how we can actually go for creating the customer's information, whether it's for account, whether it's for contact. The next option we are having in this area is talking about introducing to the segments. What is a segment? So I would say segment is going to be work like a container where I can store the contact information of a same type. Let's suppose I am saying that we are dealing with a product of laptop. I said that my company has manufactured a new version of the laptop company, of the Lenovo laptop, and now I need to sell that. So for pitching the sales or for doing the marketing for this new upcoming laptop, I need to select certain kind of customer only who is working with the laptops itself or who are buying with the laptop from us. So relatively for that, what we can do is we can create a segment, a kind of a logical container inside the app where I can define that I do want it to collect those information where their interest column is showing that they wanted to buy the laptop from my company. So I can create a static segment where I can add the customers manually, or else we can create the dynamic segment where I can define some sort of condition. Based on this, the customer will going to become. So I'm saying that if we wanted to, let's take another scenario here. I'm saying I only wanted to push the email to those users who are relatively which we are having the details and they are working for Contoso organization. So I just wanted to create a group for them. So we can do it using the dynamic segment. So let's have a look at how the static segment will going to be created and the dynamic segment will going to be created. So for that one, whenever we wanted to create a segment, I can come back to my marketing app. From the marketing app area, we can go and click on this customer group. And from the customer group, we are having this segment here. So in this segment area, I can define what kind of segment I do wanted to create. I'm saying that I wanted to create a new segment and I wanted to create a static segment. So I can click on this new static segment here. And then I can define the segment name and some additional details. So let me specify the segment name. I would say it's for my, I would like to call it's for refrigerator sales. So it's for my refrigerator sales. I'm creating this segment here. I can specify the description also. Let me click on the save and close. So I've created one of the static segment on my own. Once I have created a static segment, after that, I can go for defining the members. So I can manually add who is going to be the member of this segment. So I'm going to click on this add button. From the add area, I can see the specific records. Let's suppose I wanted to add the Abby as a part of the segment, Aiden as a part of the segment, Amanda as a part of the segment, Angela as a part of the segment, Anthony Booth as a part of the segment. So I can select the customer's information manually. Once I have selected all the respective details of the customer, whoever I wanted to add to be a part of this static group. So I can select those details and click on this add button. And once I'm going to click on this add button, all of the users which I have selected are going to be the part as a member of this segment which I just created. So here you can see that we got this specific segment currently present. So same way, we can actually go for creating the dynamic segment also. So let's have a look how to create a dynamic segment. But before that, let me tell you one more thing. Whenever we are creating a segment, after creating the segment, if I wanted to use it in the marketing journey, in the customer journey, so we do need to click on this go live button to make that segment live so that we can call this segment in the customer journey for creation. So let me click on this go live button. And then once it's going to be on a live basis, I can click on the save button and then we're going to create a dynamic segment now. So we have this segment on a live note. Let me click on the save and close button. Now I do wanted to create a dynamic segment here. So let me click on the new button again. And this time I would say I wanted to create a dynamic segment. So I'm going to click on this dynamic segment here. First of all, I need to select what is going to be the session template. Let's suppose I do wanted to create this segment for basic interaction only, or else attending the event or attending a section, or maybe it's a birthday is today, or maybe check an email, forward an email or anything. So I can select any of types of segments template here. So by default, there are going to be lots of segments template. You can select for which kind of work are you going to create this segment. I would say, let me skip this. I do not want to use any of the templates now. Let me define the name of the segment only, and we are going to create a query. So I would say this is going to be the Contoso segment, where I'm going to add those users who are the part of the Contoso company itself. Other than that, I do not want to add any of the users in this segment. So I'm creating the segments, and then after I need to create a query block. So in the query block, I can define what is going to be the attribute. So from the contact entity, I would say wherever the contact's account is going to be a specific contact account called Contoso. So whoever the user I'm having in my organization, where their account is associated with the Contoso, I do wanted to add all of them as a part of the segment here. So I've defined the name, I have defined the entity, and we can also go and run some query view that either any of the specific person is going to be added or not. And once we have added, we can see the estimated size also. And then we can click on this save button. So let me click on the save button here. And once the group is going to be saved, so it will going to run my query, and after running the query in the members, we will found how many specific person are currently in progress. So right away it's only in the draft position, so that is why members are not adding. But once we are going to make this segment as go live, then the query is going to be run, and accordingly my new members will going to be added. So let me click on the go live button now for making this segments as a live. And once the segment will going to be as a live condition, then in the members area, we can come here and we can see the result. So in each and every 15 minutes, the query is going to be run automatically, and whoever the new user is registered with us will going to be the part of the segment here. So the first query will going to be run within 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes, we'll be able to see the result that which of the person is a part of this specific segment here. So that is how the dynamic segments can be created. Let me click on this save and close button. So this is how the segments can be created now. After the segments, we are having the option to manage the leads. So what are the different ways can we create our leads? So there are going to be several ways. Either I can hire some marketing employees who are going to work on a doorstep marketing basis, and they are going to talk with the specific customers, and they are going to interact with them, and they are going to collect their details, and we can create their leads. So there are going to be several ways to generate a lead. Whenever I'll say that specific leads can be generated as an automated basis, so for doing so, we need to have some inquiry where I would say that we are going to indicate a new lead based on the inquiry. Let's suppose someone, a kind of a normal person, which is visiting our website, and they are filling up the inquiry form to get some information about the courses we are providing on a learning basis. So whenever they are filling up the inquiry form, a new lead is going to be generated in my lead entity. So this is going to be a kind of a inquiry lead. Same way, once that lead is generated, we're going to send some sort of automated marketing emails to those persons. Like whenever they have filled up a specific inquiry form, I got the information that a person named Deepak is requesting some information for my courses relatively for a category called Power Platform. So I got the information and their details, whatever they have provided. Based on that, the lead has been generated. So after having the lead, we are going to send some marketing emails to that person that based on your interest, we are offering PL 200, PL 100, PL 900, 400, as well as 600 courses in the Power Platform category. Please let me know which of them do you wanted to opt. So this is going to be our second portion. So in the second step, we are sending an email to the respective customer based on their inquiry. Once they have they got that email, and they will going to accept that yes, I do wanted to opt for one of the course called PL 200 here. So accordingly, they're going to mail us back that we wanted to opt for this PL 200, or maybe they will visit our website and register themselves for PL 200 course. So that specific option will going to become under the acceptance area, where we are pinching something and customer is accepting our offer. Once the customer is accepted our offer, then we're going to verify his qualification. So for make that lead qualify, we do need to require some basic information. So we're going to ask those basic informations with the customer, and once they will provide me all the required information which is actually required, and most probably we will only require the mobile number of the customer, the name of the customer, as well as their email ID. If we have these three things available, that means the lead is qualified. We can call the customer and we can pinch the offer. So once we got the required information, my lead is going to be on a qualified stage. And once the lead has been qualified, we can proceed further to give him an offer that yes, if you have interested for PL 200 for getting that training. So we are providing you a training in two ways. First one is a self-paced, where you will get the videos of the recording of the classes, and also some hosted lab environment to complete your labs and so on. The second way of providing us the training is we are going to provide you a instructor-led training. So please do let me know which kind of training do you want it to opt it. So I would say that customer is interested with self-paced course. So he's going to come back us and going to confirm us that I wanted to go for self-paced course. Please let me know what is the process of registering it. So we are going to offer him that for self-paced course, you need to pay that much of amount and you need to register here via credit card or debit card, and then your access will going to be started and your access will going to be continued for upcoming months as well. But for that you need to pay that much of amount. By default you will get the access for first 3 months here or first 1 month only. So that is how we can actually provide him an offer, and once the specific person will going to take the offer, then the sale will going to be completed. So we'll see that the customer is accepted for doing some sort of sales. So this is how we can start managing our lead from starting to end. Also, whenever we are saying about some leads, so we always need to understand that which lead needs to be uh, contacted for qualifying. So if I'll say that whatever leads I'm generating in my company, I do wanted to create some scoring model where I would get the information that here the customer's information is currently okay and I can contact that customer. So I'm saying that if 1,000 leads are generating on a per day basis in my organization, so for making them as a qualify, we need to check two things: whether the mobile number provided by the customer is correct one, or the email ID provided by the customer is correct one. Because if we know that both the informations are correct, only then we can contact the real customer. Otherwise, if they have provided a wrong number or wrong email ID, so we can't actually contact that customer. So what we can do is that we can create a lead scoring model in between, so that whenever a new lead is going to be generated, we'll need to wait for some time until that lead is going to be qualified. So on my team, whatever I'm having, a sales team can only refer to those customer who is currently on a genuine node, so that we will get some better results after getting the calling or getting the interactions. So in that situations, what we can do is we can create some lead scoring model where I can define what is going to be my condition, that when my lead is going to be qualified, and how can we actually create it. So I would say that I do wanted to create a lead score where I'm saying that first of all, whenever a new lead is going to be generated in my lead entity, I do wanted to verify his email ID, his or her email ID, and then verify his mobile number. And accordingly, I'm creating another column in my same entity, that email ID verified as yes or no, and mobile number verified as yes or no. So in my lead scoring model, I'm defining a condition: if these two options are yes, or maybe out of these two options, anyone is yes, only then the lead is going to be qualified. Other than that, the lead is not going to be qualified. So we need to understand about the settings, whatever we wanted to prefer, and accordingly we need to create some lead scoring models. And from what area we can actually create the lead scoring model? So we need to come to this outbound marketing area, and in the lead management, you will find the scoring models. So you can come back to this page, and from here you can actually go for creating some lead scoring model as well. By default, I'm having some sort of lead scoring model already present. Let's suppose I'm opening this behavioral score. So here what I'm doing is I'm creating some condition like evaluate email engagement, and I need to check 5 point. So if they have provided me the email engagement, I'm going to provide the a specific person as a 5 point. Then evaluate event engagement. If they are attending us the event, then I need to provide that person as a 10 point. Same way, if they are attending our web engagement, they are visiting our website in past few days, so in that scenario I'm going to make them as a 5 point. And also for the disengagement, I'm going to decrease the 5 point itself. So accordingly I can define what is going to be my passing condition. So we can define the passing condition could be 10 of the score, 20 of the scores, and so on. So accordingly the lead score model can be created. If you wanted to create your own, so you can click on this new button, and from the new button you can actually define the conditions and the actions. So I would say my first condition is going to be here. Let me select the condition and drag it in here. So my first condition would going to be, what is my display name? So display name is condition first, where I wanted to specify some condition. What condition do I wanted to add? So I can select the entity name. I would say the entity name is going to be the contact, or maybe instead of that, I would say I wanted to check about email delivered. If the email delivered at least, oh, sorry, let me select it again. I'm saying if that customer is on that customer's email ID, if the email is going to be delivered within last 1 month, then only I wanted to make that lead as a qualified one. So I can specify those options. I can specify what is going to be the field and so on, which account needs to be look and the other things. In the grades, we can also specify the sales ready score. So I would say the sales ready score is going to be 10. And here I can specify the thing. So I'm saying if the email delivered at least 10 of in the last 1 month, only then I wanted to make that a specific lead as a qualified node. So you can create the conditions here. You can specify the frequency. You can specify the expressions as well. Once you have created, you can click on the save button. Once this condition pass, I wanted to add an action. So I would say I wanted to add an action here where I wanted to add some score. I would say I wanted to make it as a 10-point increase. Same way, if you wanted to add another condition, so you can go for adding another condition as well. And once your lead scoring model is ready, you can make it as a save, and then you can specify as a live. So let me specify the name. I would say email delivered score. This is my name of this specific lead scoring model. And here, let me go for saving it. And once it's saved, I can click on this go live button. And once I'm going to click on this go live button, only then this is going to be applicable for my real-time records, whatever I'm having. So that's how the lead scoring model can be created. Now, the next thing we are having is about designing a marketing email. So whenever we are saying that we have some prerequisites are already available, like I'm having the account details available, I'm having the customer details available, I'm having the product details available, I'm having the segments available, I'm having the lead scoring models available. Now I would say that I do wanted to send some sort of emails to the respective customer in terms of informing them that we are dealing with a new product now. So I would say that we are working as a supplier of the products relatively for laptops itself. And now we have increased our quantity with another version of laptop. Previously, we are only dealing with the i5 laptops. Now we have increased our capacity and now we are started dealing with i7 and i10 laptops as well. So once we got that products on our company and I do wanted to send that same notification to the respective persons, so how can we send the email? What is going to be my template? So whenever that question will come, you can actually utilize the dynamics area, this marketing application, and you can create your marketing email template, and based on that you can also create a marketing email here that needs to be sent to the respective customer. So you can create a marketing email from a specific template or from basics itself. You can also go and design the email, including your company's logo and marketing page, updating text and button, removing some unnecessary elements, whatever you are having, and so on. You can preview the marketing email after completing the design. You can review and update the additional settings on the summary tab, like their name of it, or maybe some additional information itself. You can check out for errors if any kind of errors is present onto my this marketing email and so on. You can send some sort of test emails also to check whether this email is going to be delivered successfully or not. And then after you can go for publishing that marketing email. So this is going to be the steps how to go ahead and start creating the marketing email. The important considerations we need to make sure is that every time we are creating some email template or we are creating some marketing emails, we always need to make sure that emails content are not going to be larger than 100 KB, because if it's going to be a larger than 100 KB, then it will always going to be flagged as a spam by the spam filters. The second type of considerations we need to make sure is that Gmail truncate those messages after whenever we are having that email more than 100 KB. So if I'll say that I'm created a specific email of 105 KB, so it will going to check out that email about their source text and the coding itself. So these are some important considerations we need to make sure while creating the email template or while creating the marketing emails in both area. Also, larger emails will take a long time to load and also to long time to send itself, which may annoy the recipients. So these are some considerations we need to make sure. Once we have the email available, then we can start doing the marketing based on the account. So whenever we are having the account, we can actually go for creating some account based marketing where I can start creating the account based journey, where it will help me to generate some account leads, going to trigger some decisions at the account level and so on. We can go for having some account based personalizations for email content. We will going to have some account insights available. We'll be able to see the account based leads and lead scoring models and so on. So these are the things we can achieve once we are creating the marketing email. So let's have a look how to go ahead and start creating the marketing emails in the real time scenario. So whenever I'm saying that I do want it to go for creating a new marketing email, so you need to come to your marketing app. After coming to the marketing app, what we need to do is we just need to go towards one of the area here, and the area is going to be the marketing emails. So where we will find it? We will find it under this area called outbound marketing. Under the outbound marketing, we're going to have one of the column available called here marketing emails. So let me have a look. Yeah, so marketing execution area, and from the marketing execution area we will find this option called marketing emails present. So we need to select this marketing email. After selecting this option called marketing email, we can actually go and create a new email template on our own. So for creating a new marketing email template, we need to go and click on this new button. After selecting this new button, we need to select what kind of marketing email I do want it to go for creation. So I would say I wanted to select 1 to 2 column of marketing email, like this kind of marketing email I do want it to create. So I'm going to select this template now, and let me go and sit on this select button. After selecting this marketing email, the template is going to be open. In this template, we're going to design a new marketing email now. But before designing, let me just make some changes. Sorry for that. I'm going to click on this draft area. First of all, going to name this one. What is going to be my name? I would say it's cross-sell marketing email for Contoso. This is my name, which I wanted to add. Now, what is going to be the subject? So I can click on the subject button, and here I can define what is going to be my subject. I would say the subject is ensure all aspects of your business is covered, and also you can actually define some additional informations here. I am saying ensure all aspects of your business is covered. This is going to be my subject line, which I wanted to add. If you wanted to add any kind of email address, you can specify that email address. You can specify from which person do you actually going to send this email. Let's suppose instead of this Dev Kumar, I do wanted to send it using another person's email ID, and the name of that email ID is Kuldeep Singh. So I can also select that specific person here. Let me say this is my Dev Kumar. I do wanted to use the same person right away. Nice thing is that once we have subject created, we have completed the subject informations and so on. We have completed from which email ID the mail needs to be sent to the respective person. We have changed the name of that email itself. Now I wanted to add one of the logo. So I'm going to select the logo, which I need to add it in here. Let me go and select it. I'm going to click on this logo area, and then I need to select whether I'm going to start adding this specific logo from my library. Do I want it to upload to the library? Do I want it to insert from the URL? I would say let me go for browsing the library here, and let's see what is in the library. How many of files am I having right away? So right away we do not have any of the data. So let me quickly add one of the logo now. So I'm going to click on the upload files, and let me click on the add files here. Then it's going to ask me to provide the emails or the images about your logo and so on. So I'm selecting these two images right away, and let me click on the upload button. And once it's uploaded, we're going to click on the done button, that these two images are uploaded. And once it's uploaded, I can select which specific file I wanted to add it in here. So once I am going to click on the select button, so here my logo can be added. We can also increase and decrease the size of that logo. Also, we can specify what is going to be the text. I would say it's going to be the GTechLearn itself. So this is my name. Do I want it to link it with some URL event and so on? So yes, I wanted to link with a URL. That means every time a person will click on this logo, it's going to redirect that person towards a specific website. What is going to be the URL? I would say the URL is going to be this one, gtechlearn.com. Then I can specify the size, I can specify the styling, I can specify the spacing thing and so on. And so these things can be added. Let me say I wanted to add it in the between, or instead of this one, I do wanted to add any kind of other logo. So I can also specify that specific pictures and so on. Right away, I do wanted to add it just like the same way we are having. Let's suppose I do wanted to add one of the text here. So I'm clicking on the text and I'm defining here. I wanted to add a text. What is going to be the text? I would say GTechLearn. My company name is a gold partner of Microsoft. So I wanted to add this message. Let me say I wanted to add this message in here, and I do wanted to make some kind of changes to be done. So I'm selecting this option in here. After that, where do I wanted to what kind of format I wanted to make it as a happen? So I can specify those formatting things also. Let me go for deleting one of them, and here this is going to be my text. I can change the font and paragraph. First of all, I do wanted to add it in this area here called middle. I do wanted to have the font size, font type as a Times New Roman. I do wanted to use the size here called 16 pix, or maybe more than that, 26 pix, or maybe below than that, 22 pix only. Yeah, so this is going to be the right one. I do wanted to make it as a bold. What is going to be the paragraph? So this is going to be the first heading. I do want to make it as a different color, so I can make the color change also. I would say I wanted to write it down in this green color, so I can make that thing happen. Or let's suppose I do wanted to make it as a automatic color. I do not want to make any kind of change. We can also go and change the format and decrease and increase the size itself. So that is how we can add the text. So my first content is ready. After that, I do wanted to make the change in here. So I'm selecting this image. Let's suppose I do wanted to make a change of this image. I'm going to replace it. I'm going to browse the library. I'm going to select the image which I wanted to insert. So here my image is inserted. I can specify a kind of a hoarding. I would say it's self-paced course. So this is my heading is going to be offered by GTech. So here my specific heading is ready. I can make a change of this format if I want. I would say it's going to be my heading 1, and I wanted to make it on the middle, and I wanted to remove the specific bullets and numbering. I do wanted to make a change in this middle area. Let me change it to the middle area. Let me specify some messages. So I would say GTech is offering some free courses inside the self-paced pack, and you can visit the official website of GTechLearn to claim your offer. So here I can specify the messages. Website link below. www.gtechlearn.com. This is going to be the website. I do wanted to make this happen, that I do wanted to make this as a link. So I'm going to click on this button, that every time a customer will select this option, then I wanted to link that specific area to the URL so that the users can redirect themselves to the respective website what I'm defining. So I can specify the learning URL here. So let me find out what is the URL. I would say let's go for gtechlearn.com. And here my self-paced course option available. So this is my website where I do wanted to redirect my users. So I'm specifying my website, hitting on insert. So now this specific text is going to have a link available with it. Let me select courses, self-paced below. So everything is ready. Once it's ready, I can move forward now. Let me just make it as a middle. So it should be very easy to see the things. Let me just increase the size. I do want it to increase it from 14 to 16 at least. Then what is going to be in this area? I would say the areas are going to be, let me just insert some images. Let me download the images. PL200 certification image. I'm going to the images area. Sorry, PL200 certification images. Let me go to the image, and here my Power Platform certification image is present. Let me go for saving that image onto my desktop, saving it. Same way, apart from the PL200, I do wanted to add for AZ500 certification image. Let me select my AZ500 as well. I'm going to save this image again on the same page. So my images has been saved successfully. Once my images has been saved, I do wanted to add both the images in here so that the customer know which kind of course is being offered by the GTechLearn itself. So I'm selecting one of the email. I'm going to the browse library first, and now I need to upload 2 more images. So I'm going to add the files. And where do I'm having both the images? So in this area, I'm having both the images. This is my Power Platform image. This is my Azure security image. So here I wanted to upload both of them. Once these are uploaded, let me click on the done button. And let's suppose this time I'm selecting this PL200 course. So I've selected that image here and the image is inserted. I can specify some course description. So I would say GTechLearn is offering the free course for PL200. Kindly click on the image to claim your offer. Let me just make it in the middle alignment. And in the images, I wanted to add one of the link. So I'm going for the URL. In the URL, I can specify the URL itself. So which of the URL I wanted to specify? So I wanted to specify this Power Platform Learning Pack URL. So let me just copy this URL and let me specify this URL here. So whenever a customer will click on that page, on that specific image, in that scenario, the customer will going to redirect themselves to that same page of Power Platform self-page course. Same way for this one, instead of this URL function, I do wanted to add a kind of images thing. So let me just delete this area. And I do wanted to add images. Let me go for selecting the images. And here I wanted to add an image. So let me go for selecting one of the image here. Browse library. Azure Security Engineer. Let me select it. Then here, let me just copy the same message. I'm going to paste the same message here. I'm going to make it as a middle one. And here, instead of this PL200, I just wanted to make a change for AZ500. Then I do wanted to click on this button. I just wanted to add this URL to this button as well. So I'm going to select a URL. Inside the URL, I would say it's going to be this one for Power Platform. And then here, I'm going to select my Azure Security Power Pack. So coming back, this time I'm going to select my Microsoft Security Learning Pack. This is the URL which I wanted to add. So for this one, I'm selecting this URL to be redirect, and same way for the images also. So I'm selecting the image. I'm going to link it with the URL with the specific URL here. So that's how the things can be created. Now I would say I wanted to change the alignment of this one as well in the middle for both ones. So let me go and change it to the middle alignment. And that's how my mail is ready. So this is the first portion I have clicked on the ready. Do I wanted to add any kind of other element? I would say yes. I wanted to add the image here, the same image called about GTech logo. So I'm going to select the GTech logo now. Again, same way here also, I wanted to add the image, the same image called GTech logo. This one. And here my mail has been ready. If you wanted to make a change, like instead of this company one, I do wanted to make a change called GTechLearn, all right reserved. And here I can specify the GTech's LinkedIn ID. So I'm going to open the LinkedIn profile. Of the GTech itself. And I'm going to click on the profile page of the GTech itself. This is the home page. Let me copy it and I'm going to paste that value in here. So this is the website. Let me go for adding a link to this content as well. So I'm selecting it, clicking on this link button, linking with the URL, and this is the URL. Let me go for insert. So here the link has been updated. And once everything is done, I can go for clicking on this check content area to check for errors. So I can go for check content first of all, and let's see, do we have any kind of errors with my email content? If yes, it's going to show me. Where is the error? So the HTML version of this message doesn't include the legal physical address. Okay. Okay. Done. So we can actually make those changes, whatever it is happening. So let me just go there and let me specify the address itself. I would say the address is going to be dev.kumar@GTechLearn.com. So we need to specify the person's email address. Let me go for check the content now. Okay, so because the email address is not updated for that person, that is why it is going to send me some issues. So what I need to do is I just need to add my domain first. After having the domain, I need to specify the user ID of my company, and then I need to add their email addresses. And the same email addresses need to be inserted in this area here. So, or let's suppose instead of that, I do wanted to add Dev Kumar @gtech010 on microsoft.com. This is going to be my URL to the address. Here it's going to be the contact email address. Let me go for check content now, whether this email is going to be work or not. Okay, so it's still asking me to connect the domain. So we need to connect the domains and then this issue can be resolved. Once you have created the email, that is how the emails can be created. Then after we can save this email. Either I wanted to save it as a draft, or do you want it to save it as a template? So if you wanted to save it as a template, you can come here, and after coming here, you can click on the save as template option. So here the option is present called save as template, and you can specify what is going to be the template name. I would say it's going to be self-paced course template. So I need to specify that option, and let me click on the save and close. And that's how we can specify the marketing email as a template. And here in this area in the preview, I can go and see the preview that how the mail is going to be look like whenever we will send it to the respective persons. So this is how my mail is going to be look like once the user will going to click on the email on the different content. So whatever the link I have associated, accordingly they are going to redirect themselves. So you can see it is redirecting me to the security pack platform. However, the previously one is redirecting me to the Power Platform pack. So you can see the same things are happening, whatever I have decided. So this is how the things will going to be work. This is my first name and this is going to be my default settings. If you wanted to change the screen size, like apart from the desktop, you wanted to see the tablet portrait. So the portrait tablet view is going to be look like this manner. The landscape way is going to be look like this manner. In the mobile, how the mail is going to be look like. So in the mobile, mail is going to be look like this ones. How the mobile landscapes, in the landscape, the mobile, the specific mail is going to be look like in this manner. So you can actually go and see the different screen sizes also. You can review how the mail will going to be look like to the respective persons. So this is how the emails can be generated or can be created or can be designed from your marketing app itself. And once you have designed the email, you can go and start creating the email generally itself whenever it's required. So this is how we can actually go for creating the marketing email. So now I'm having one of the email. This is on an active node, but currently it is on a draft one. So I need to add the domain first, and then I can make this email as a live. So this is something what we are having in this area called email creation. Now the next thing we are having in the line, talking about introduction to the customer journey. So the customer journey is going to be a kind of an option which will allow us to engage with my potential or existing customers, what we are having in our organization. It will also going to help us to create a flow to guide the members of a selected segment that throughout a process, that how the marketing needs to be done. We can start it from the basic and accordingly we can achieve the goal. Same way, You can also go and take the contracts down, unique path based on their interactions. So whatever the interactions the customer is doing with us, accordingly, the things can be created. So we can create some customer journey here. For setting up some customer journey, what options we need to make sure to select? So the very first thing is that we need to select the target audience, that who is going to be my target audience, to whom we wanted to make the interaction. Then after, we need to create some message styles, where what content we need to send to the respective message persons. We can specify those options. We can also go and create some branch styles, and we can also go and click on this button called wait or delay tiles itself. So these are some setups that can be done using the customer journey. Talking about working with segments, so you can utilize the segment option whenever we are selecting the target audience. So in the target audience, we can call out the segment which we have created, and using that segment, we can actually send the respective emails to those persons who are currently a part of that segment here. So the same type of segments can be utilized in my outbound journey. The same type of segments can be utilized in my real-time marketing journey as well. So in both the area, we are going to have the same types of options available. You can utilize the same things in both areas. So you can select as segments as an audience, as a exclusion criteria, as a condition, or as a exit criteria. So it's always going to be depend where I wanted to use the segment, on what manner. So let's have a look. How can we create a customer journey? How can we use and work with the segments here while creating the customer journey? So I'm coming to my marketing app now. After coming to this marketing app, we are going to create a new customer journey. So for creating a new customer journey from the outbound marketing area, you can come to this group called marketing execution, and then you can select this option called customer journey. Same way from the real-time marketing area, you can actually go and create a journey from the engagement page. So right away, because I do wanted to make a outbound marketing itself, so I'm coming to the outbound marketing area, and I'm going to select this customer journey from my marketing execution group. And here I can specify a new journey. So let me say I wanted to create a new journey now. Which kind of journey do you wanted to create? Whether you wanted to create an announcement journey using some templates, or you wanted to go for customer onboarding, or you wanted to go for event marketing, high touch marketing, monthly newsletters, or simple email journey. So I would say this is going to be my announcement, that we are going to announce to my customers that GTech is offering some free content courses. So I'm selecting the announcement journey. I can click on the select button. So my journey template is going to be ready, and accordingly we can actually go for creating. So the first option we need to add is to set the audience in my customer journey. First of all, let me make some change. Let me make a journey name here. So I would say that my customer's journey name is going to be self-paced course journey. This is the name of my customer journey which I wanted to create, and it should be started from today from the same time. Is it going to be a recurring? That means, do you want it to recreate this journey again and again on a monthly or weekly basis? If yes, you can click on this as a yes. If no, you can decide it as a no. So right away, I'm not making it as a recurring portion. I'm just making a normal journey. After having this, we can go for setting the audience. So let me click on the set audience option. And here we can select what is going to be my source type. Is it going to be a segment? I do want it to go for contact info uploading or submitting a form. So I would say I do want it to work with the segments area. Then which kind of segment? Is it going to be a normal segment we are creating like a static or dynamic, or is it a subscription list? I would say normal segment. What is going to be the inclusion, that which segment I wanted to include? I would say I wanted to include this refrigerator sales segment. However, you can select your own. So because I have created my refrigerator sales, I'm going to name it as a refrigerator sales. Let me just rename this segment as well. So instead of this refrigerator sale, I would say okay. self-paced customer segment. Let me go for saving this. And let me go for save and close. So this is my name of the segment. So I've selected one of my segment here known as self-paced course segment. Then after, I can add some conditions also. If you wanted to exclude some members from this segment, so you can add the conditions, and here you can define that I do wanted to include or I do wanted to exclude some of the persons here. So you can actually go and select the respective things accordingly. Let me select that segment here. Let me close this. I do wanted to select a self-paced customer segment. In the description list, I can specify what is going to be the description for that segment. I can make those changes happen. Once we have selected the audience, we can click on this plus button that what we need to start. So I would say I wanted to get the details of my contact from this segment called self-paced customer segment. And then I wanted to send an email to the respective persons. So I can click on this add tile button, and here we can specify what task I need to achieve, whether I need to send the email, whether I need to go for using some conditions of if else or split or wait for or wait until, or creating a lead LinkedIn campaign to be complete created, or to run some workflows, to set an appointment, to set a phone call or task or something. So you can select the respective options as per your own customer journey. Right now, I'm just creating a simple journey. So I'm going to select send an email. So which of the email template do I want it to send? I need to select my respective email template, which I'm having. So right away, it's not going to show me any of the email templates because we haven't created our email template on live basis. So first of all, we need to create a new template as a live basis. Only then we can actually go for adding those emails here. So once we have selected the email, after that, we can decide what is going to be happen. So I can use the if and then condition. I can use a split. I would say if and then. In the if and then conditions, I just wanted to check if a specific source, that email, is opened or has been hard bounce, has been soft bounce, or a link has been clicked from the email or has been delivered. In those situations, what needs to be done? I would say that if an email has been delivered and a link has been clicked from that email, in that situation, if a link has been clicked from the email, or first of all, let me go for email has been delivered. If the email has been delivered, then in the second condition, first of all, I'm checking if the email is delivered, only then I'm going to the next condition. In the next conditions, I'll say email. If a link has been clicked, then what we need to do? If not clicked, then what we need to do? Same way, if not delivered, what we need to do? If not delivered, I would say I just wanted to go for ending this customer journey here. So I can go and click on this here, um, run a workflow, and I can call one of the workflow to end this customer journey. Same way, if the email has been delivered and a link from that email has been clicked, then I do wanted to go for creating a lead. So I can go for creating a lead option. Same way, if the link has not been clicked, I can go for making any kind of other option. So this is how we can actually go and create some sort of customer journey whenever we want. So this is just an option to show you guys that from what area we can create a customer journey. So I hope you guys understand about that. So right away, I do not have the live environment. So that is why I'm not able to create a live customer journey. But once you are having the live environment, you can actually go and create your own customer journey as per your own requirement. So I'm just showing you the specific options how to do that. So this is how my customer journey can be started, and then it should be end. So let me go for making it as a save. So we can save this customer journey, and once we are going to have the proper information available, we can update it, and accordingly we can make this customer journey as live. Once I'm going to click on this button as live, then only the customer journey will going to start, and we're going to follow through the same process which I have defined inside it. So that is something what we are having relatively for customer journey here. The next thing we are having is talking about creating some sort of webinar events. So from the marketing app, we can easily go and create some sort of webinar events whenever we want. So I'm saying that if my company is hosting any kind of events, whether it's for my sales team events, it's for my marketing event, or maybe my team is hosting some sort of webinars to delivering some sort of course information to the respective free audience and so on. So we can actually use the marketing app in that situation. And in the marketing app, we have the capability to create those kind of webinar events on our own. So over there, we need to specify some webinar prerequisites for that what are the prerequisites are going to be. So if I'm saying that we are creating an event which is going to be hosted as an offline mode, so for the offline mode, we do need to have some prerequisites like who is going to attend that event, what is going to be the place of that event, where this event is happening. Also, if some of my participants is participating this event, and if they are coming from outside of the country or outside of the states, so uh, what is we are having the option to provide them for a stay, for their fooding, for their clothing, and lots of other things. So depending upon what kind of event we are hosting or the webinars we are hosting, we need to have the prerequisites to be completed first. Same way, if we are hosting an online webinar, so for the online webinar, we need to make a look that do I have the trainer available who is going to deliver that webinar? Am I having the account available on the meeting platform? Which meeting platform am I going to use so far? And also, am I going to have some content available which needs to be delivered on that area? So these things are going to be the prerequisites. So accordingly, we need to make sure all of them. Once we have completed the prerequisite, we can go for configuring an event or session, or for broadcasting as a webinar. So in all the situations that can be done. Then after, once we have created an event or the webinar session, we can actually send the webinar URLs to the attendees. So whoever the attendees are, we can actually go and share the links as an automated basis. So whenever they are going to register themselves, our email is going to be triggered, and the email will going to have the details of that webinar links and so on. So accordingly, the person can get the information that which links need to be followed to attend this webinar and so on. Talking about creating and managing some recurring events. So we can also create some recurring events. Let's suppose I'm saying on each and every Sunday, we are providing a specific webinar at 10 a.m. on a random topics in each and every Sunday. So you can actually create a webinar on a recurrence mode, and that's how the things can be done. So let's have a look about how to go ahead and create those kind of events inside our environment whenever we want. So for creating the events, let me come back to my environment, and from my marketing app, I just need to go towards this area here called outbound marketing itself. And here we are going to have the event management options present. So we need to just select the option here. First of all, let me go to the events planning, and in the events planning, I do need to go for events options to be selected. And from here, I just wanted to create a new event which my company is going to be hosted. So let me click on the new button. You can also go and create some event from the previously created template itself if you are having the template. And also you can create a new template if you wanted to create it for some upcoming event scheduling to be done. So I'm going to create a new event now. I'm selecting the new button for doing the same. I'm going to specify the event name. Let's suppose that the event name is that exam prep session for AZ305. This is my event name. What is going to be the event type? Whether it is going to be the executive briefings, whether it is going to be a conference, whether it is going to be a demonstration, whether it is going to be a training, whether it is going to be a webcast. So I would say it's some sort of training event I'm creating. So I'm selecting my event type as a training. Then when this event needs to be scheduled, I can specify. So let's suppose in Indian time zone, I do want it to create it, or maybe in the EST time zone, I do want it to create it. So let me go and select my time zone first, and then let me select my event start date. So I'm saying that we are planning this event on 14th of November. At which time? So I would say at 10 a.m. or maybe it's 9 a.m. And then when it's going to be end, so it's going to be end on the same day, 14th November at 12 p.m. So the 3 hours of events is going to be run on Monday. So is it a recurring event or is it going to be a single event? So this time I'm saying that I'm creating it as a single event. Then do you want it to stream this event online if in the Microsoft Teams? So I would say yes, I do want it to stream it as a online. So I can go for setting up some Microsoft Teams available channel, that using which of the channel I do want it to stream it as a online. So I can specify that thing. Let's suppose I do not want to make this as a stream. Then after, do you want it to add any kind of building where this is going to be happen? So I can specify the building information. Let's suppose this one is happening in building A, and inside the building A we are having one of the room available. Let's suppose not in the building A, maybe in Alpha Beta building we're going to have some room. So I can select the specifically the building information as well as the room information. What is going to be the maximum event capacity? I would say the maximum event capacity is 500% can be added in a single event. What is going to be the wait list? Do you want it to add the wait list? I would say yes, I do want it to add the wait list in this event here. How many participants can have the wait list options? I would say the 50 persons. Then after completing the basics information about my event, I can come to this agenda area where I can specify what is going to be my agenda. So let me go for saving the basic details first. And once I'm going to save this basic details, then we are going to discuss about some additional information. So we are saving this details right away. Now, once we have done this, I'm going to the agenda tab, and in the agenda tab, I'm going to specify some additional details. Like the session has been planned already, but apart from the sessions, I do need to specify some informations here. Sorry guys, that what is going to be my session track, what is going to be my speaker engagement, and the other information. So I would say I do wanted to add one of the speaker here. I'm going to click on this new speaker engagement button, and from here we can specify who is going to be the speaker. Do we are having any of the speakers right away? Let me check. So we do are having some speakers. I would say that let me specify a new speaker now apart from this one. So I'm going to create a new speaker detail, and the speaker type is going to be the internal speaker. The name of that speaker is going to be Dev Kumar. Is it a contact on my company? If yes, I can select the respective contact information. I would say no, he's not a contact. He's a MCT. The email of that Dev Kumar is dev.kumar@gtechlearn.com, and MCT and solution architect. What is the speaker cost? So I would say speaker will cost $500. What is the website where that specific event is going to be happened? What is the LinkedIn URL of that person? What is the Twitter URL? What is about of that specific speaker, and so on? So I can specify the speaker details here. Let's suppose I do want it to go with some basic informations only. Let me click on the save and close button. And once we have created this speaker information, I can specify that our new speaker is going to be talk in this event, and the speaker name is Dev Kumar. I have added the speaker cost as well as the speaker name. I can specify for which session it is going to be working. So I can specify the session also. Let's suppose I'm going to click on this save and close button. So I've added the speaker here. Once I have added the speaker, we can also go for adding some event images as well if we want. So if you do want to add some event images, in that scenario, you need to come to this website and form area. And from this area, you can get some options here called event images. So you can go for adding some event images also. You can go for selecting the file. I would say it's relatively for Azure security platform. So I'm going to select the Azure security image, and the image will going to be displayed on the marketing page. Do you want it to go for set registration end date? If yes, you can specify when the registration will going to be closed. I would say the registration will going to be closed on 14th of November at 8 a.m. So till 8 a.m., the person can go and register themselves to be a part of this event. We can also specify the registration closed message here if we wanted to do that. We can also specify some registration field if any custom field we wanted to add and so on. Once we have added the basic informations, we can click on the save button. So this is a specific option that how can we actually go and create a new events on our own. Once we have done with this event, then we can actually go for creating some sort of segments and adding them based on the registration done by the users. Like every time our user is going to register themselves for this event, which we are hosting right away, then we can call out that person's informations, and in the dynamic segment, we can include them. So accordingly, at the end, we will going to send the respective email itself, where they will find the event link as well as the event information, speaker information, topics informations, and some additional details. So this is how the things needs to be completed. Once you have done with the creation of this one, you can click on the go live button as well to make this event as a live on your organization website. So once it's going to be make it as a live, then the users will be able to see that events on your website, and they will be able to register themselves. So this is how the things can be done for event creation. Now, the next thing we are having in this list of discussion is talking about creating a project in Dynamics 365 customer voice survey area. So what is customer voice? First of all, we need to understand that customer voice portal. So it is a portal provided by the Microsoft that will help us to retrieve some feedbacks from the customer end, or get some survey done from the customer end. So for doing that survey or for collecting the feedbacks, the customer voice portal will help us to create some sort of forms or some sort of automation things for achieving that goal. So let's have a look how can we actually go for creating this customer voice in the real-time manner. So for working with this customer voice portal, you need to come here and go towards another website that is known as customervoice.microsoft.com. So this is the portal where you guys need to go and log in yourself. And inside this one, it will going to allow you to create the projects as well as to send that kind of survey feedback form to the respective users itself. And let's have a look. How can we actually do that? So right away, I'm inside my customer voice portal on that same account. And right away, you can see if I'm going to the all projects area. So I'm already having some of the project created, which I have created for Contoso service visit. Let's suppose I do wanted to create a new project. So for new project, I can click on this new project button. I can specify which kind of product I do wanted to create. I'm saying that I wanted to create a new survey form depending upon a periodic customer feedback relatively for the event am I creating. So I'm selecting this template here. I'm hitting on the next button. Then it's going to ask me that in which location, in which environment do you wanted to create this project? I would say I just wanted to go for seeing or environment. And I'm saying I do wanted to create it for my marketing trial environment because I'm creating it for my event. So I'm selecting this marketing trial event and let me go for select and close. So I'm creating this project for my that environment. and let me go for creating it. Once we'll click on the create project button, it is going to give me a basic template of form or using some basic questions. If you wanted to make a change, you can actually go and start doing the changes as per your own. I am saying I do wanted to change the heading first of all. I am saying event feedback form. Please complete this feedback survey to let us know how would you really enjoyed our webinar related to AZ500 or it's AZ305, whatever webinar am I creating. So I do wanted to add this heading and subheading on my top. Also, I do wanted to make some style change where I would say I do wanted to use any kind of custom image. So we're going to use the custom image right away. I do not want to use the defaults one. I can make the theme color change. I would say the theme is going to be on a green note. I do wanted to use the green theme. Then I do wanted to add the image. Let me add a custom image on my own. So I'm going with this Shivam desktop and I'm selecting one of the logo which I wanted to insert with this area. So I'm inserting that custom image of my company's logo and here my company logo is associated. So you can add your company's logo on your own. Now, once we are having that custom logo, do you want it to make anything other changes like what is going to be the logo and so on? So you can add some those kind of logos also. So here my logo is going to be added on the top. You can also go and remove the logo itself if you want it. Like if I wanted to go there and I do wanted to remove that logo, so I can go and remove that logo as well using this button called delete. So I can delete the logo itself. I do not want to add it on a custom note. Then after I'll say that these are some basic questions we are having. If you wanted to customize the questions, you can actually go and customize the questions here as well. So let me confirm that this is going to be my first question. This is my second question. This is my third question. And I do wanted to make some change to my thanks note. So I would say inside this area, let me pass out this message. And then after I do wanted to add another message here talking about your feedback will not going to be shared outside of my organization. So this is my thank you message, which I wanted to use. And here we can add the footer message also. I would say the footer message is going to be the same, which I'm having. Now I have completed my design. Let me make some additional design to be changed. I would say I do wanted to make some adding the changes here about the branding thing. So in the background, I do wanted to add my company's logo. So I'm selecting my company logo to be uploaded. And in the back end, my company logo is going to be added successfully. So here my company's logo will going to be populated in the back end. We can make the change of the footer of the fonts style. We can change the body font style as well. We can also go and change the theme colors whenever we want for the home page. So this is how the forms can be created. You can also go and make the formatting changes where you can decide whether I do want it to show the progress bar to the customer or do we not want it to show this progress bar? Do you want it to show the question number or not? Do you want it to shuffle the question every time the customer is opening the form or not? So you can make those changes in here. Once we have done with the changes, I can click on the send button and then we can utilize this email option and we can specify that to which email this specific form needs to be sent. So you can specify the email address and then you can click on the send button to send the respective customer survey to that respective user using your email address. Apart from that option, we will also have some additional ways to send that same things like using some Power Automate flow, using to a link for embedding the form in my websites, using the QR code to download and send it to the customers, and also to link some sort of form towards my Power Apps or towards my another areas, so that we can generate some links to share it with the customers, so that customer can share the feedback using that link, QR codes, and other options. So these are the different ways we are having in the customer voice to go and select the things. So that is something what we are having in the customer voice area. Talking about what considerations we need to make sure. So first of all, we need to make sure that what is the purpose of this project here, why we are creating this, who are going to be the main stakeholder for this product, for this project that needs to provide input. So accordingly, we need to make sure about them. We also need to make sure, does this project will going to cross over multiple departments that have a variety of needs or not. We also need to go for having any kind of clear objective in place and our deliverable required for the product. So these are some considerations we need to make sure while creating the survey. What kind of questions we can add inside the survey? So we can add the multiple types of questions like choice type question, text, rating, date, ranking, Likert, NPS, file upload, and so on. So these are some basic types of questions we can create. We can also go and create some templates if we want to send a specific customer voice survey to the respective persons. We can also utilize some several components here, like what is going to be my subject of that mail, what is going to be my survey link, do you want it to add the unsubscribe link in the bottom, do you want it to use the variables or not, do you want it to use the logo or not, do you want it to insert the custom images or not. So these are some components which can be added inside your customers voice portal itself. So that is something what we are having in here to discuss about, that what topics are actually important to learn before going towards the examination of this MB-220 here. So if you guys have any query related to the same things which we discussed so far, you can go ahead and ask your questions here. Okay, so before going forward with the practice questions, to see that what kind of questions can be come up onto the examination area, is it okay that we can take a 15-minute break here? So we're going to take a 15-minute coffee break and then we'll continue with the questions now. Okay, welcome back guys after the quick break. So now we are going to start this practice question session. So here we are going to have some questions to be available that we'd like to answers by your side, and we're going to confirm which is going to be the right answer and how the questions will going to be come up towards your examination area, and what level of question will going to become appear in your examination. So let's get started with this section now, and we are having a very first question in the line. So this question is saying, the corporate marketing team has developed a branding strategy that includes 5 mandatory components and visual requirements that must be incorporated for all materials. The VP of marketing, who receives a copy of each email sent, has recently seen some emails that do not adhere all 5 standards. So you need to ensure that future emails are there to these standards. So the solution is, which is providing by the question itself, that you can need to send an email to any users who created a deficient template by identifying the deficiencies and requesting them to correct their templates. Is this going to meet your goal? Your answers on the chat, please. Let me start my timer as well. Okay, so the correct answer is this specific process will not meet our criteria to resolve the issue which is coming in this situation. Talking about, we are having another question, the same question again. And in this question, the solution is defined as you create an approval process on the template records. That means every time a person will create a template, you are going to create an approval process to make that template live so that you restrict usable templates to only those that has been approved. So only the approved template can be use in the real marketing journeys. So is this going to meet your solution? So what's your answers, guys? Please confirm. Let me start the timer now. Right. So the correct answer for going to be that this solution will going to be the correct answer. However, the previously one is not the correct answer. So this kind of segments is going to be available on the examination as well. And in the examinations, if we have selected the answer of a question at a time, so we cannot go back and change the answer. So always be careful whenever selecting the questions in this category. The next question we are having in the line is your landing page must include your privacy banner to let your customers know that you take their privacy seriously. Once enabled, where will the full text of your privacy policy is going to be stored? Whether it's your option A on your organization's private website with the login information that needed to access it, or it's option B on any publicly available websites with the URL listed in the event management settings, or it's option C on your organization's website with the URL listed on the default configuration set, or it's option D on the publicly available website with the URL listed in the landing page configuration set. So your answers on the chat, guys. And let me start the timer that what is going to be the correct answer for it. Okay, so the correct answer for that situation is going to be option D. However, the option C can also be a kind of a correct answer, but it will going to be applicable once we are working on a custom note, like we are not using the marketing app, we are doing it on our organizations basis applications and the websites we are having. So in that situations, we are going to list our privacy things on the default configuration set. But because we are creating a landing page from the marketing app, so that is why we need to create a publicly available website, and in the landing page, the specific list URL needs to be inserted. So that is why the option D is going to be the right answer. Let's have another question now. In this question, it's asking, you are the administrator of your company for Dynamics 365 for marketing application. You are responsible for ensuring that the current constraint of your subscriptions are not exceeded. You want to establish monitoring for the critical components that drives additional subscription cost. Which three subscription limits can you monitor at the settings, in the advanced settings, in the others, in the quota limits? You need to select the three of them from out of these four options. So option one is you can see the total number of inbox preview that your company has utilized this month and the total number of inbox preview that are remaining in this month. Option B, the total number of emails that your company has sent this month and the total number of emails remaining in the month. Or option C, the total number of marketing contacts that you can have in your database according to the current Dynamics marketing subscription and the number of contacts remaining in your subscription. Or option D, in the total number of marketing contacts that you can have in your database according to your marketing subscription. So your answers on the chat, that what three options can we check in the quota limits. Let me start the timer now. We need to select the three answers out of them. It's already written here that choose three. Okay, so the correct answer is A, B, and D. That means we can see the inbox previews, we can see the emails that has been sent till now, and talking about the contacts, so we can actually see that how many contacts can we have in the database. So that option will going to be shown us. The next question we are having in line is, you have created a lead scoring model for a marketing effort. The lead scoring model has three grades, that is cold, warm, and hot. After a week, you notice that no one has received any score from your model. So the solution for that question is, you are going to add an action tile. Is it going to resolve your issue? Your answers on the chat, please. Let me start a timer as well. Right, so the correct answer is no, that only using a action tile will not resolve this issue. The next question is, the same question is appear again, but this time the solution has changed. In the solution, it's written, you clicked the go live button. Is it going to resolve your issue? So your answers on the chat. Let me start a timer again. Wrong. This one is surely going to resolve our issue, because there is only one possibility. If we have created a lead scoring model on a correct note, like I have defined the correct condition, I have defined the correct actions, how much of points need to be added after matching that condition, then there is only one possibility. If any of the lead will not going to have any kind of a score, is that my lead scoring model is not live. So every time I'm creating a lead scoring model, we need to make that lead scoring model as live first. Until we are not making it as a live, it will not going to be applicable for my leads entity. So this one's surely going to help us issue. So the correct answer is option A. Now we are having a next question in line, talking about your company is interested in gaining some additional insights into customer journey. You have been tasked with analyzing the contacts insight from the option presented. Which three types of interactions are analyzed in Dynamics 365 for marketings, for contact and lead? You need to select three options out of these five. Option one is web interaction. Option two is event interaction. Option three is survey interaction. Option four is appointment interaction. Option five is telephone interactions. Your answers on the chat, please. And let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct three types of interactions that can be shown in the timeline option is talking about web interaction, option A, then option B, event interaction, and option C, survey interaction. So these three types of interactions can be analyzed in the contact insights area. The next question we are having in line is, if you use the Dynamics 365 for marketing to obtain detailed analytics views to help you understand your impact and learn which marketing instruments work best for your audience. You need to track response to data regarding how your contacts react to your various marketing initiatives. Which three sources of analytical data are available to you regarding your marketing initiatives? You need to select three options out of all fives. Option one is insights by contact will be available to you on individual contact record and on the account which the contact is associated. Option B, the insights you receive will be measured over all recipient of a single activity and by all activities for a single recipient. Option C, the insights aggregating the results from all emails sent in a certain time frame will be available on your email marketing dashboard. Option D, survey insights measured over all respondents will be available on the survey insights form. And option 5, insights measured over all recipient of a single segment over all channels will be available on the segment insight form. So what is going to be the correct three answers in it for the three data sources of analytical data that are available in the marketing initiatives? So let's get your answers on the chat and let me start my timer now. So the correct answer for that question is going to be option A, B, and C. That means you will find the insight by contact. And you can also go and receive measured all your recipient things. And the third one is results from all marketing emails sent in a time frame. So you will get a full dashboards for them and you will be able to receive these three types of analytical data. Accordingly, you can analyze the things and make your new strategy of your marketing initiative. The next question we are having in line is, your company decides to set up a lead scoring model. They would like to score lead based on a condition. Which two conditions follow the fixed rule category? Is it option A, based on age? Is it option B, clicking on an email advertisement? Is it option C, an event for which the contact registered? Or is it option D, based on zip code? So what's your answers, guys? You can proceed your answers with the chat and let me start a timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be option B and option C. Clicking on an email advertisement, an event for which the contact register will going to have a fixed rule category. The next question we are having in line is, you are a Dynamics 365 marketing functional consultant. The marketing department wants to see customer journey, appointments, and events in a single calendar rather than a list. What should be enabled and configured to achieve this goal? Is it option A, the marketing calendar control on the designated entities? Is it option B, the calendar control on the designated forms? Is it option C, the calendar control on designated entities? Or is it option D, the marketing calendar control on the designated forms? So your answers on the chat, guys, and let me start a timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be option A, the marketing calendar control on the designated entities. The next question we are having in line is, you are a Dynamics 365 functional consultant for Contoso Limited. Because of some recent policy change, the marketing team needs to update the privacy policy banner, text, and URL. What should you configure to implement these updates? Is it option A, the marketing data configuration? Is it option B, the application management settings? Is it option C, the default marketing settings? Or is it option D, the landing page settings? So your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be option D. The landing page settings needs to be updated. The next question we are having in line is, your sales team often requests reports on lead source effectiveness. They want to know which marketing campaigns, events, and web contacts generate the most qualified leads and ultimately the most revenue. How can you use the tools in Dynamics 365 marketing to generate this report? Option A, we need to navigate to the lead, click on the inside, and then select the lead source effectiveness tab. Option B, navigate to leads, select the appropriate lead view, click on the run report, and select lead source effectiveness. Option C, navigate to contact, select the appropriate contact view, click on the run report, and select lead source effectiveness. Or option D, under customer journey, you can go to the insight sections for each journey that generates leads, download the appropriate data, and aggregate it into a separate spreadsheet. Your answers on the chat, guys. And let me start a timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be the option B. We need to navigate to the leads. We need to select the lead view. Then we need to run the report. And then we need to select lead source effectiveness. So from the leads table, it is going to be very easy to know from which source this lead has been generated. The next question we are line is, your marketing department needs to create a customer journey for female wine enthusiast over 40 years old who lives in Europe. How should you define who received this customer journey? Is it option A, via creating a static segment? Option B, creating a segment type. Option C, editing the contacts in the database. Options D, creating a dynamic segment. So let's get your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. Okay, so the option D is going to be the right answer, that because we are having some conditions. So is it very okay that we can create some queries accordingly, and queries can be created inside a dynamic segment? The next question we are having in line is, your marketing department has determined that they want to create a customer journey that will target marketing contacts that have visited your website in the past 12 months. Which type of marketing segment should you create? Is it option A, profile segment, option B, interaction segment, option C, landing page segment, option D, customer insights segment? Your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. Okay, so the option B is going to be the right answer, that is interaction segment. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional for Adventure Works Cycle. You want to create a new subscription form with a new subscription list. You have created the new subscription list, but must be able to see the subscription list selection in the designer toolbox. When creating the new form, which form type must you select to meet the condition? Is it option A, landing page, option B, event form, option C, forward to a friend, option D, subscription center? Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be the option D, subscription center. Okay, let's move ahead with the next question here. The sales team need guidance on adding some contacts to the existing segments. Which three statements accurately describe those process? Option A, those who do not have access to the segment entity cannot add a contact record to the segment. Option B, a contact can be added to a static segment while viewing the contact record. Option C, a contact can be added to several segments at once. Option D, those who do not have access to the segment entity can add a contact record to a segment. Option E, a contact can be added to a dynamic segment while viewing the contact record. Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. You need to select three of them. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be option B, C, and D. We do not have the segment entity. If we do have the permission available for the contact, we can create the segment as well. So option B, C, and D is going to be the right answer. A contact can be added to a static segment while viewing. A contact can be added to the several segments, and also those who do not have the access to the segment entity can add a contact record to the segment. So let's move ahead now with the next question now. Question number 16. You are a Dynamics marketing functional consultant. You create a marketing subscription list and you need to make it available for website visitors. In which ways, two ways can you actually do that? Is it option A, in the email marketing form, drag the created subscription list to the form? Is it option B, in the subscription center form, drag the created subscription list to the form? Option C, in the landing page template, drag the created subscription list to the form. Option D, in the event template, drag the created subscription list to the form. Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be option A and option B. In the email marketing form, you need to drag the created subscription list to the form, and also to the subscription center form, you need to create a subscription list to the form itself. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional for Contoso Limited. You are creating a marketing form and wants to add a subscription list. As you go through the toolbox, you see the subscription list. You notice that there are not as many lists as expected. Which criteria should be used to allow a subscription list to be visible in the toolbox? Is it option A, published marketing list where the subscription field is set to true? Option B, active marketing list where the subscription field is set to false? Option C, published marketing list where the subscription field is set to false? Option D, active marketing list where the subscription field is set to true. Your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. So the correct answer for that question is going to be option D, talking about active marketing list where the subscription field is set to true. Let's move over with our next question here. The next question is talking about, you are a marketing administrator. You need a marketing form that will only accept contact information and allow opt-in to emails. What kind of form should you create? Is it a journey form? Is it a forward to a friend form? Is it a landing page form or subscription page form? Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be option C, landing page form. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional who needs to create a new field for a marketing page. You want some text to be in the field when the customer opens the page so that they have an idea of what to enter. Which field should you hold this ghost text? Is it going to be a label? Is it going to be a prefill? Is it going to be a default value, or it's a placeholder? Your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. Okay, so it's going to be the option D, placeholder. In the placeholder, you can define whatever the value needs to be put up in there, and that will going to act like the tooltip information for that column. So the option D is going to be the right answer. Next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional for Contoso Limited. You want to create a marketing page that will utilize the standardized content that can be used across emails, pages, and forms. You select to use the content block for this. Which two elements are available to you whenever you are creating a content block? Is it image element? Is it divided element? Is it text element? Is it form element? Your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be the image element and the text element. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional. You have created a marketing form and want content items to automatically fill in for the customer. What is going to be the valid form for prefill? Is it going to be the option A, prefill form? Is it a survey form? Is it a journey form? Is it a subscription center form? Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be subscription center form. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional who is marketing to an engineering segment. You need to create a new field for a marketing form. This new field needs to be a number that can support a level of precision up to 7 decimal places. Which field type should you use? Is it a single line of text? Is it a floating point number? Is it whole number? Is it a decimal number? Your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be a decimal number. We can utilize this kind of field here. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing professional who is creating a marketing page. Which three design elements are available to you? Option 1, divider element. Option B, text element. Option C, content block element. Option D, event element. Option E, survey element. Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be the option A, B, and C, divider element, text element, and content block element. The next question we are having in line is, as a marketing administrator, you have been tasked with automatically creating lead based on the interactions your marketing contacts have with your organization. What are the two ways the system can create the leads from the same marketing contact? Option A, it can automatically creates one per visit to a customer journey that is configured to create leads automatically. Option B, it can automatically create one per visit to a landing page that is configured to create leads automatically. Option C, it can automatically create one per interaction that indicates a level of interest in a product or service. Is it option D, it can automatically create only one? Each marketing contact equates to one lead. What's going to be the two best answer? Let's get to your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now.
A, B.
Okay, so the correct answer would be A and B. It can automatically add one per visit to a customer journey, as well as it can automatically create one per visit to a landing page. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing administrator for Contoso Limited. You have a contact us marketing form that has fields for a person name, company, address, email address, and phone number. When the form is submitted, you need to ensure that if the contact or lead already exists, their record should be updated. If the contact or lead does not exist, then the record needs to be created. What should you do in that situation? Option A, set update contact leads to contact and lead. Set option B, set generate leads without matching to yes. Option C, set store from submission to yes. Option D, verify that lead matching strategy and contact matching strategy are set correctly. Your answers on the chat, and let me start a timer now. So the correct answer is going to be the option A. We need to go for set update contact leads to contact and lead, because by default, whenever a form is going to be submitted, and if you have created a capture form, so the record is going to be updated in that record is going to be created. But because it's asking about the updation thing as well, so in that situation, we need to select the option A here. Next question we are having in line is, you are a Dynamics 365 marketing functional consultant. You needed to set up a marketing campaign for a client to demonstrate how they can engage the customer in email campaigns. To set up your demo, you will need to establish a list of contacts. You need to avoid using actual contacts. Which two methods can be used to load demo contacts for the campaign? First one is create contacts in a demo data of marketing setting. Option B, create contacts manually in the lead section of marketing app. Option C, import contacts from an Excel file. Option D, create contacts manually in the contact section of marketing app. Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. So the correct answer is going to be option A and option C. We can create the contacts in the demo data area of marketing settings, as well as we can import the contacts from an Excel file. The next question we are having in line is, you are a marketing manager. You need to improve the open rates for your email campaign. The content designer suggests you use the dynamic messaging. You want the dynamic message to appear below the subject in the recipient preview pane of the email client. Which action should you take? Is it option A? You will use the preview text field to enter messaging with the contact's name to entice the user to open the email. Option B, create a custom code element that holds the following HTML information about meta name is equal to description, content is equal to enter cache message here. Or it's option C, add the preview text to the subject field, proceed by a colon. Or is it option D, use the preview text element and drag it to the top of your email in the email designer? Your answers on the chat, and let me start the timer now. So the correct answer for that question is going to be option B. We need to create a custom code element in the form, sorry, in the page, and then it's going to be up here. So that is something what we are having inside this specific exam prep session of MB-220. And just the way we saw the questions in the list in my practice session section, the same level of questions and same type of questions are going to be come up to the exam itself. And apart from this kind of questions, whatever the other ones we have discussed on the starting of the session, those types of questions are also going to be come up in the exam. So same way, if you guys wanted to go for registering some additional webinars, which has been hosted by GTechLearn Private Limited as a free of cost. So you can visit our website called gtechlearn.com/webinar.aspx. You can register for those upcoming webinars. And also you can scan this QR code in here. Talking about what kind of upcoming webinars we are having is still we are having the AZ 500 webinar, AZ 700 webinar, SC 200, SC 300, SC 400, AZ 104, and the other ones. So we are having a lots of webinars are in our upcoming node. So you can visit our website and register yourself. So that is all from my side. And thank you very much everyone for joining this session here. I hope you guys enjoyed the sessions and learn something about